What is the best WWE finisher? It's a question as old as time. And today, by my opinion, gotta emphasize that, we're gonna find out in a tournament bracket elimination sort of style sort of thing, what is the best WWE finisher. Folks, before we get started, please make sure you subscribe, leave your likes, leave your comments. Check out the Patreon in the description for weekly wrestling match watch-alongs. And that's that. All right, let's get started here. We're gonna play. There's 26 rounds. All right, pretty easy one. Again, this is the first round, so this is like a 1 seed versus a 16 seed, right? We got the Undertaker's Tombstone versus Pat McAfee's Spitting Elbow. Didn't even really know Pat McAfee had an established finisher and that it was that. But we're not going to waste any time. We're not gonna be crazy about it. We're going Tombstone. All right, next we have Braun Strowman's running Power Slam versus Rey Mysterio's 619. I mean, easiest choice in the game. Strowman's Power Slam is solid. I like this little bit of run in it, but like it's going up. Heavy hitter. I almost said giant, no pun intended, but the biggest little man, the biggest little finisher, 619 going on. All right, next we have The Rock's Rock Bottom versus John Cena's AA in the first round. Oh man, this is really, one of these is really getting knocked out in the first round. That's crazy. Okay, first of all, if it was still called the FU, Cena kind of walks here. I'm thinking what's more iconic. I do think Cena's might be a little more iconic, if that's crazy to say. I mean, the rock bottom is so universally known in general. God, I don't know. You know what? I'm watching the two GIFs. I do think I know which one I like better, and it's the rock bottom. I think there's more impact. I mean, Cena's like, a lot of people do Cena's move and it's not a finisher. I think the rock bottom is still held up in a little higher regard. And also, like, Cena's finisher I think is a lot just due to the fact it's Cena doing it. I'm going rock bottom over it. All right, next we have Finn Balor's coup de grace versus Roman Reigns' spear. Roman Reigns is a solid spear, especially these days. It's definitely improved over the years. It's good, but at the end of the day, it is just a spear. The coup de grace, though, is so sick and has always been so sick. You're like stomping in the person's rib cage. It always looks so dangerous and so crazy, so I do think it walks here. All right, next we have Drew McSpace's Claymore kick versus Brock Lesnar's F5. As much as I do love the Claymore kick, and I like the fact that you can like pull it out of anywhere, and he often does it, you know, by a surprise, and oh my god, he hit the Claymore. It is pretty sick. He is basically just like running and drop kicking a guy in the head. A lot of it is in the cell, like you see here with, I believe that's Cedric Alexander. However, the F5, named because of that's how they measure tornadoes, and the guy spins, and sometimes he can send the guy flying. I do think it's the F5. All right, next we're going Triple H's pedigree versus Becky Lynch's manhandle slam. I think a lot of what makes Becky's manhandle slam not always look awesome is the sell. That's the thing with some of these finishers, is it's kind of like how much is it in the person performing it versus how much is it in the sell. And the manhandle slam is one that's like 95% the sell. And the other night on Raw, Bayley took the manhandle slam, took the manhandle slam from Bayley, and Becky jumped up there pretty high, flat back, basically showing everyone, I think I saw a tweet about this, showing everyone, hey, this is how you take my finisher. And it looked solid. Again, it's similar to the rock bottom. The rock bottom just has a little bit more pizzazz, obviously done by The Rock. That's hard to replicate. Triple H's pedigree, I think, is a staple, especially when, like, back in the day, he didn't really let go of the arms, or at least let go of them as soon. As you kind of got later in his career, and also, you know, there were things put in place for people not, you know, just landing straight on their head. You kind of got, like, you know, him holding the whatever. We're going pedigree. Ooh, tough matchup. We have Bray Wyatt's sister Abigail versus Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music. Almost unfair to put a gif of what is arguably one of, if not the best Sweet Chin music. I know where I'm going here. As much as I really, really do love the sister Abigail, I think it's so unique, and I love that Alexa does the variation of it now, kind of in homage. It's really good. I don't want to admit it, but I do think if Shawn just had such less of like a legacy, and if it wasn't Shawn Michaels doing the Sweet Chin music, the sister Abigail would walk here. But I just can't eliminate the Sweet Chin music right now. It's a staple. You could argue it's been watered down due to all the super kicks that happen nowadays and how the super kick isn't really a devastating move anymore, and you hit like, 9, 10, 11, 12, 100 of them in a match looking at you, Jay versus Jimmy at WrestleMania 40, and it becomes less impactful. And but my argument to that is those aren't the sweet chin musics. Only Shawn Michaels has the power to do a sweet chin music. Those are only super kicks. It's not as powerful as when Shawn does it, right? That's kind of the kayfabe wrestling, explanation for that. Anyway, Sister Abigail is an all-timer. It's sick. It doesn't deserve to get kicked out of round one. However, we're going sweet chin music. Would not call you crazy if you put Braze over, though. All right, next we're going Rhea Ripley's Riptide versus Kane's Chokeslam. Ooh, Chokeslam's a classic. I think I'm going Chokeslam. I do love Rhea's finisher. Again, this is a lot in the cell and the person jumping up. I do think there's sometimes too much setup for it, and you got to grab the arm like under, and when you do it perfectly, it looks sick because the person kind of twirls a little bit, and then the slam. However, the Chokeslam, especially because how big Kane is, you can get someone up there, and it's classic. It's hard to beat it. I'm going Chokeslam. Oh man, heavy hitters here. Stone Cold Stunner with the Santino Marella Salute Cell versus CM Punk's GTS. I do love the GTS. I do think if it wasn't Punk, though, it would be a little lamer. Again, this is one that's also a lot in the cell, but a lot of it, and at the end of the day, you are just like dropping the person from your shoulders, and they always lay on their feet, and then sure, it's a knee to the face and they go back, whatever. It's going against what very well could win this. It's going Stunner. I'm honestly glad it's going up against Stunner, because I think there's a lot of people that would disagree about the GTS, but I don't know. It doesn't always look super impactful, and some people can sell it well, which definitely helps, but the Stunner, man, and the Stunner is a lot in the cell. However, I do think it is like easier to sell, and there's different ways to sell it that make it look good. The GTS is only like one way to sell it to make it look great, We're going Stunner. Didn't even need that much conversation. We're starting to go over, though. All right, next we have the Miz's skull-crushing finale versus AJ Styles' phenomenal forearm. Phenomenal forearm, sick. I always considered this, maybe this is not true, maybe it's just two finishers, but I always kind of looked at this as the signature, where maybe I'm totally wrong, and I don't know if we're getting it, but I do love the Styles Clash way more. I think I'm going to go Miz's skull-crushing finale over the forearm. There's more impact. You do kind of slam the guy face first. It's a close one, but we're going to go the Miz. All right, next we have the Stomp versus Bianca's Glam Slam. I'm a sucker. Wait, is RKO? Wait. Is RKO not in this? Did we not see the RKO? Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, what I was going to say is I like a move that can be pulled out like out of nowhere. I'm going Curb Stomp. The Glam Slam is solid. Does she sit out with it? I feel like she usually does the sit out with it. I don't know why in this GIF. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. The sit out looks way better. I'm going Curb Stomp. Okay, there's still more. I thought we were like done with a certain round, and then okay. All right, interesting. I mean, there better be the RKO in here. All right, we have Cody Rhodes's Crossroads versus Alexa Bliss's version of the Sister Abigail. Alexa's version is cool, especially because she like puts the arm on the back of the head, and almost like it ends up being like a face buster sort of DDT sort of thing, which is cool. I think I'm going that over the Crossroads, because as you see with the Chad GIF, a lot of the Crossroads is in the cell, but I think the Crossroads can oftentimes look not that impactful, where if you look at Alexa's Sister Abigail, for the most part, that DDT is going to be impactful. Hate to put Cody out in whatever, is this still the first round? I guess so. But I don't, as much as I love Cody, don't love the Crossroads. We're going Alexa. Ooh, Io Sky's Moonsault versus Wade Barrett's Wasteland. Wow, Wade Barrett's Wasteland is kind of lame, huh? Look at that gif. You just kind of softly toss John Cena over. I'm going over the Moonsault pretty heavy-handedly. All right, next we have Sheamus's Broad Kick versus Undertaker's Tombstone. Are we looping back around at this point? It's the Tombstone. The Broad Kick is sick. I like, again, out of nowhere. Oh, you hit it, blah, blah, but like, come on, it's the Tombstone. Where's the RKO? Did the RKO get like a pass or something? Where's the RKO? All right, 619 versus Rock Bottom. 619 is so unique. It's unlike anything else. Very creative. No one else can really do it. You see like Dom, I think Roxanne does it, Zelina Vega, and they all attempt it, and no one can really hit it. I think Io Sky might have even done it once or twice, and no one can get like the speed and the full like swing as Ray. So it's like, it's a finisher that like no one can copy, which I think is so sick and makes it even more unique to Ray, where, nowadays we do have the manhandle slam, which looks an awful like the rock bottom. I'm going 619. Coup de grace versus F5. Ooh. The F5 is cool because of how, wild and insane he can, fling someone. But the coup de grace seems like it could genuinely kill someone. So we're going that. Ooh, pedigree versus sweet chin music, little DX battle here. Both moves, you can argue, have been a little watered down. Seth Rollins pulls out the pedigree. Well, he pulls out both moves, but he pulls out the pedigree, and it's kind of a meme at this point of no one kicking out of it. You know what I mean? No one kicking out of it. Should have done air quotes. God, the pedigree is sick, but there's just something about Sean hitting that kick. I'm going sweet chin music. Am I giving sweet chin music too much credit? Maybe. Choke slammer, stunner, pretty easily choke slam. Don't need to waste too much time though. I love a choke slam. Skull crusher finale versus stomp. Ooh, both sort of face impacts, but the stomp was banned for a while, right? He couldn't do the stomp because of concussion stuff. Oh, Randy's punt isn't even on here. How come Randy Orton's not represented on here? I'm going curb stomp. Alexa Bliss's version of Sister Abigail versus Io Sky's moonsault. Alexa, stop. What is it saying? Alexa, stop. God, every time. As much as I love Io Sky, I think she has one of the best moonsaults in the game. At the end of the day, it is just a moonsault. I just saying just a moonsault is crazy, but it's the year we're in. So I think I'm going Alexa. I think putting over Alexa is also putting over, in part, Bray Wyatt's Sister Abigail, because I hate that Sister Abigail left so quickly. So that's it's kind of, in my head, it's kind of a little tag team of it. All right, Undertaker Tombstone versus Rey Mysterio 619. God, I mean, it's my opinion. It's biased. The 619 is so good. Tombstone's devastating, especially being able to cross their arms and pin him. I think that all still adds into it. I'm going 619, I'm sorry. Sorry. And for those that are going to try to make the argument, here's a clip of Rey Mysterio calling it his finisher.
When I came into WWE and I had to have a patent finishing move, I was like, well, that's it. And we'll name it 619.
Okay, moving on. Coup de grace versus sweet chin music. Ooh, why isn't RKO in here? After we do this, I'm going to restart the quiz and see if you get random ones and some are left out, because RKO might win this whole damn thing if it was in here. All right, coup de grace versus sweet chin music. As much as I love the coup de grace and is one of the most realistically painful looking moves in wrestling, I think sometimes in order to not actually kill the person, he does have to really fold and make it look soft. So I'm going sweet chin music. It's more iconic. It's more crazy. It's more whoa out of nowhere. All right, stunner versus curb stomp. Pretty easy stunner. As much as I love the curb stomp stunner, I'm actually surprised curb stomp made it this far. Alexa Sister Abigail versus 619. Hey, Alexa, you had, oh no, it's gonna go off again. Alexa, stop. Alexa, no. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Bliss, I'll call her that now. Bliss, you had your run. It's a 619. Come on. Is this going to be 619 versus Stunner? Okay, Sweet Chin Music versus Stunner. This is where the Sweet Chin Music, I think is saying bye. It had a good run. I bet there's a lot of people arguing that it lasted too long. However, I think we can all agree. Stunner over Sweet Chin Music. Here we go. 619 versus Stunner. Both also heavy in the cell. The 619, the person get kicked in the face has to fly backwards. The stunner, again, you could argue the more impressive part of it is in the cell. And I just convinced myself because the more impressive part of it is in the cell to make it look devastating. You know what's super impressive on its own is as someone who tried to learn this move during their wrestling training, the 619 is damn impossible. It's the most impressive thing ever, holding yourself horizontal like that and swinging yourself around with that speed that he does. It's 619. I don't care. It's the best finisher of all time. Bang. I will say, 619 versus RKO, I would generally go RKO over 619. I think RKO might have been the best. I don't know why it was included in here. Let's just do it again or open it up again, see if it's there. It says all 27. So I don't think, yeah, it's, what the hell? I just don't think it's in here. That's actually crazy. That's a crime. That's a travesty. Let's, while we're at it, let's see what other people ranked high. Stone Cold Stunner number 1. That makes a lot of sense. An 81% win rate. Yeah, I'm not shocked. Sweet Chin Music number 2. Number 3, Undertaker's Tombstone. Brock Lesnar's F5. I'm not surprised in the top 5. Surprised it's 4. Curb Stop went pretty high. 619 number 6. That makes sense. Wow, Claymore at 7. What's at the bottom here? Becky Lynch's manhandle slam. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it, but it is so in the cell. And it's a conversation that, this isn't a new conversation, but it seems like no one knows how to take it. And like I said, Becky the other night on Raw against Bayley, and Bayley giving her own move really showed the locker room, here's how you take my move. I'm really curious if that was like a favor of like, especially because she was facing Bayley, a veteran, someone who like also knows their shit, of like, hey, can you do the manhandle slam on me so I can show these people in the back how to do my move? I don't know. I'm actually surprised Wasteland wasn't at the bottom though. I think the Glam Slam had a rough go of it because it got given a tough GIF, maybe. I don't know. Again, though, RKO, I think really got snubbed. Could have won the whole thing. I think generally I would pick it over the 619. So that's that. Did I lie at the beginning of the video, I guess, in determining what is the best? Maybe. I don't know, because there was a lot that weren't included. But let me know what got snubbed. I'm sure there's a ton that got snubbed. Out of this, let me know what your favorite is. What do you think's the best? What do you think's the worst? I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. Please check out the Patreon for weekly wrestling match watch-alongs. The new one should be maybe out now or coming out soon. Not sure. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for being here. Bye, 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 bye.